Yeah. We're here. Looks like we made it.
Looks like we made it.
Friday. Here, I have something for you.
A rose. How perfect for Venus's day.
Yeah.
Swept up in a Venusian breeze.
Yeah.
Swan-drawn chariot. Let's do an Om. Call in the goddess of beauty. Let's embody grace. Let's do a one breath and then we'll go into it. That's nice. Nice reset.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to talk about love, beauty, maybe a little sex.
It's the come up. Cool. Y'all are the best. I'm fucking glad we're doing this. I'm really glad we're doing this show. It's so fun.
Me too.
Yeah, and like honestly, we've talked about doing this for so long. It just didn't make sense. And then I don't know why we just chose today, and it's going better than I could have fucking ever imagined.
I love it, and I love Fridays the most because it's Venus's day.
Yeah,
and Venus is pretty awesome.
I didn't realize how important and big of a role Venus was in our life till we met Mare. You know, and she came to us like Rick from Rick and Morty looking for some fucking, flake of some radiation thing on some far off planet. Like she's like, you guys have Venus to spare.
Yeah.
And here I am. What's it all mean?
What's it all mean? That's a good question. Love, beauty, grace. What's it all mean? I think what is it to enjoy something? What is it to experience pleasure? And I think a lot of our mind wrappings around what beauty is turn into these mathematical equations where we equate beauty to shapes and numbers. And it can really get us tricked up in the solidified nature, because beauty doesn't have a solidified nature. And I know the eye and the beholder is kind of a cliche quote, but it certainly is true. And I know this year I've definitely learned to love a lot of not just parts of other people, but parts of myself I haven't loved before. How do you find pleasure in things you haven't found pleasure in before?
That's a good question. Yeah, I mean, I think you guys are especially good at that because you like to find a little pleasure in the pain.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that's a great way to even invite this stuff into your world. It's like, let it hit me from another angle. Something I was protecting myself from that angle always, and like, let's open that up and see what it does. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're Venus ruled, and your life is very relationship oriented. I feel like this is the day I could talk least about, actually. The 9 is my favorite outfit.
Yeah, man, I love relationship. I didn't realize how much it superseded everything else in my life, and I kind of maybe had some shame around that for a minute, like, oh man, my relationships aren't good because they're taking up so much energy. And I actually just think relationship requires a lot of energy. It's just how much are you able and willing to give to it. And maybe you're lucky in just a situation where you just have harmonious relationships and it doesn't require a lot of work. But I have found with the work that I've done in relationship, the highs that I am able to reach with people and the depths I'm able to touch and like find new territories of each other's souls has been so beautiful, and I wouldn't rather be any way else. So like I'm just having a little gratitude for my individual path,
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely been a process of deprogramming for sure, because like we met each other and we're lovers. Like, oh my God, like we bring out a side in each other that like we love about each other, but like it was just for us. And then over time, and psychedelic trips and meditation and meeting people, you realize you're like, if we're going to be lovers, if this really is our path in life, let's be lovers to everything and everywhere all the time. Like, it shouldn't be exclusionary. It shouldn't be like some VIP experience. It's like, let's extend our love and let's extend our compassion and empathy to people. And it doesn't always need to be romantic love at all. You know, we're not poly, right?
Yeah.
That's going to be a new part of Mare's Instagram bio.
Yeah.
Not poly.
We're not poly, and I don't take DMs.
No, just DMT.
Just DMT.
Don't DM me. I'm not poly.
Yeah, the art of relation, like the art of love, you guys are so into, and you Cass, I think so specifically about just like how your creative brain really likes to run, and your wildlings love that territory and those meadows to France in, you know?
Yeah.
No, I found what like makes me happy, you know, and it's other people being happy, and it's like, it is like being in love and enjoying that space together and letting all else fall by the wayside is like where I really like to soak it up, you know?
Yeah. And how do you define romance in any way? Because I feel like it's one of those hard ones to put into language. Like what is...
For us, romance is like a lot different. It's like, honestly, Sean has never even given me a rose. Like that is not part of like our relationship, is like that traditional.
We don't have any anniversaries or celebratory things. There's no reason to give each other a gift or anything like that. It's not like that.
But the love that we do have for each other is like something that we show up into every day. And I feel like we're in such like a love bubble that like a romantic gesture is just kind of like foolish, you know what I mean? Not that it wouldn't be appreciated or enjoyed, or we have funny times at times with each other, but it's not like, it's a recommitment ceremony every day. It's like, we're not going to get married because we don't want to be told what we have to do. We want to choose what we want to do, you know?
Totally. Yeah, I think about it as people or chemistry that makes me show up as an artist, you know, that makes me want to, you know, be the musician in every conversation.
That's when it starts, and you can tell when it's happening. From the first time we were hanging out with you, you're like, it took on a romantic quality right away, because it was like, oh, we're actually trying to play in a band right now.
It's like a seductive thing, you know,
Yeah.
you're trying to seduce people, and that it really is what art is, right?
Yeah. Yep. Totally.
It's sex, but it's a more psychic, ambiguous, you know, container for it.
Yeah, and you've been saying that like everything is sex.
Everything is sex. Yeah,
so it's
that
like,
is part of my purpose, I think, to tell people.
Well, and then it's like, okay, so the sex we have isn't like P in the V or whatever. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to
V on V.
Yeah, V on V, whatever it is. Like we can have a whole different realm. And I think my body and soul and spirit can only handle sharing that auric energy with so many people.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at in this stage of my life.
Totally.
I don't have any plans to change, but I don't also like want to cling or attach to any state of being, but like being in a pod with I don't like that word.
This is why people think we're poly.
You're using words like pod.
3 peeps in a pod. What can I say?
Yeah.
No, but being like hanging out with you guys and sharing that intimacy, like it's very special. And that's part of me makes it special, because I want to have that special of like, oh, it's even more special because I don't share this with everyone. You know what I mean? And that's where you get to have little
It transcends
special
labels. That's what's so like that. And like nothing against poly. I
Yeah,
don't
we
need
love our
that.
poly people. We love
I don't need that. I don't want that label. I actually am going to be rejecting of most labels.
Totally.
Because what comes along with it is a heavy mask that I don't fucking feel like wearing. And to me, it's like polypod's cool for you because it makes you fit in the world, and maybe you don't feel like you fit in other ways. And like for me, Trinity Infinity works because it's like it's very specific. 3 and infinity. It's not a pod. A pod is infinity.
Yeah, and I think like we're coming across this point that like intimacy is defined so differently with people, and the ways at which we're intimate with each other and comfortable being intimate with each other and enjoy being intimate with each other, and the ways in which we're intimate with each other that are fulfilling and not draining. You know, and I feel like when I was doing client work and like interacting with people a lot on this really intimate level, but a little bit less like I didn't know them until that moment in time, but it's a very intimate process that you go through with them. I learned all the ways at which I really do enjoy sex that isn't physical with people.
Yeah.
You know, intellectual sex and all of these other things.
It's still penetrative.
Yes, it's very penetrative. And I think that's like something that the kink world brought up into the collective consciousness is great, and that's that role play is so much a part of sex. It's not just the skin on skin, it's the dynamics that get people off, right? And those dynamics are in all of your life.
Yeah.
You know, they're in. There's no. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like but it's wonderful because the language can allow people are going to see you in one way, and it's like people try to like control the language around it or whatever it is. And I think that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to control the language and be like, no, like poly's cool, but that's not us, but we don't know half the language, so there is no language. But it's fucking just a fun ass time. Been a fun ass week, fun ass life.
Yeah, well, when you open yourself to love, I think we were really getting off on this song, "Let's Live for Today."
Yeah.
By the Grassroots. Look that one up. And there's just so many fucking. It's such a simple but profound song. It's just talking about like let's live for today. And one of the lyrics is saying, while others are planning their futures, I'm busy loving you. I thought that that really cut through, because I'm like we've dabbled with a lot of drugs, but love is a drug that like you don't really like you can tap into on the day to day, and it's bringing you such into the present moment that the other illusions melt away, right? Because you're like, this is it, this is the importance, this is why I took form. Maybe it's because Venus is controlling my fucking life or whatever. But it really, that song really hit me because of that line. Just thinking about love as the drug that melts away the illusion of future planning, of past this and that. Instead of future planning, just be more aware of the momentum. Not necessarily trying to attach a bunch of specifics to it.
Oh yeah, that's exactly where I get lost in the sauce,
Yeah.
So yeah, but there's a way to get lost in the sauce of being in the moment of loving and living, and kind of that's the forgiveness that I was talking about on Thursday. Is like usually I spent the week fucking loving my ass off, and there was some other aspects of my reality that weren't as attended to, and I'm just like, it's cool.
Yeah,
you're a lover, you can't help it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think a lot of my intention this year is how do I let more people in on more of a psychic level and a more
DMs are
level.
open.
Yeah.
The psychic DMs are certainly open.
Yeah. Psychic DMs are open.
No, I mean, I think that there's an aspect of when you're fulfilled sexually, that you can love other people deeper.
Yeah.
Because you're not doing that thing with every being of oh no, are they trying to? Do they want me to? Do I want to? When you're when you got those boxes checked, I think that it creates a lot more real estate. And I think that because we said we might talk about sex on Friday and give people back a little something, I think a way to tap into that is by learning to listen better.
Yeah, listen to the breaths. I think listening is something that's really helpful in sex. When you listen, if somebody's speeding up their breath or slowing it down, it's a really good indicator. You don't have to reach down to language in that moment. You can do a little telepathy play.
High level surfing.
Yeah.
I know about it. I'm blushing.
That's it. Yeah. I think of Cass. I think of her lack of breath. So I'm like, okay, we're getting somewhere right now.
Shut up! Oh my god.
I don't care. You could talk about me. Whatever. See, why does everybody get shy and weird?
Yeah.
How have we allowed that?
Yeah.
To nudity makes people feel weird.
Yeah.
The sex talk makes people feel weird.
Yeah.
Hearing about this relationship
makes people feel really weird.
Yeah. It's you're experiencing that now.
Yeah.
Something you're so excited about. You're excited. You want to talk to somebody about it, and they're not interested because I don't know. I think that there's some cultural fucking bullshit that gets projected.
Yeah. Well, I'm used to making people sexually uncomfortable because before I was with you guys, I was basically celibate. I was doing my own re-virginizing walk where I really didn't, I wasn't intimate with people for over a 3-year period, almost 4 years. And so a lot of my, anybody that I told that, which is a very small amount of people. It's not like I let very many people in on the details of my life, but they're all, uncomfortable. I think it makes a lot of people uncomfortable because it's so different and out there. A lot of people assume oh, you're asexual, are you this, or you that. They try and label it and box it because it is uncomfortable because it's so different. Yeah. And then I'm on the other end of the spectrum now, making people uncomfortable.
Yeah, no one person could satisfy you after that much time away.
No way. No, I'd like to see them try. But it's... Wow. Yeah, that's pretty fucking interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know, being the Virgo, the Virgin, it is supposed to be my story. It's supposed to be around being the Virgin and the whore, and
Yeah. Well, I mean, why don't you explain what this outfit is? Speaking of which.
Yeah, tell us about this outfit.
this is my cum angel outfit. I didn't know I had it in my closet until yesterday, but it's pretty good, guys.
It's a great outfit.
Like if you were thinking of a cum angel, isn't this what it would look like?
Especially if you turned around.
Yeah.
Are they gonna get that good of a show?
Let's see.
We can save it for next time.
Tuning in.
Hopefully Cum Angel makes an appearance again.
Yeah. Keep tuning in, and maybe every now and then we'll call on the cum angel.
Because you got to see the reverse of this thing.
Yeah. Well, this was a fucking blast. Like a fun first week of episodes.
Expose Friday.
Yeah, for sure.
And if you want one of these cool shirts, hit me up.
Yeah.
It's like at church when you get in the confessional booth and you're like, this is a little weird.
Yeah.
Who am I telling this to?
Friday was Confessional Friday. It kind of
so
all came
together.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll see you next
Can
week.
We do a little
Let's.
E.T.
It's the come up, y'all.